Fox 19 News Morning Extra.
Once the holidays are over, it's a good time of year to get down to business. We all have to pay taxes, and you can also do some things to make sure your family is taken care of. Local attorney Jim Brun is here with some advice for the new year. Good to see you, Jim. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Sheila.
So the first one does involve taxes. This is the time of year we start getting everything together for that. Is there anything new we need to know?
Well, from the estate planning point of view, and that's what I do for a living, we're always worried about estate taxes, and everybody this year has been especially worried about estate taxes because for the past 2 years, the federal estate tax has really only affected high net worth taxpayers, individuals worth more than $5 million, married couples with a net worth of more than $10 million. We were really worried that that was going to change this year.
Did it change?
It did not.
Okay.
Well, so far.
I know that was one of the things they were talking about when they were negotiating the fiscal cliff.
Correct.
Inheritance taxes, but so far.
And last night the Senate signed their part of the legislation, and as things stand now, the estate tax still affects only those high net worth taxpayers.
Okay, so for the most part, we don't have to worry about it.
For the most part, we don't have to worry about it. One other piece of good news for Ohio taxpayers is the Ohio estate tax, as of today, is repealed. We don't have to worry about the Ohio estate tax anymore.
Oh, okay. Good deal. All right, so if you have young children, or if you plan to have children, what are some of the things you should be thinking about doing?
I think it is so critical that in one form or another, you create a trust arrangement for your children. We call it a standby trust, so that if your spouse dies and you are the second spouse to die and you have young children or not so young children that you think need a little bit of help with their money management, it's very important to create a trust arrangement.
And that means somebody is making money decisions for them because you're gone, right?
That's correct. You pick someone that you trust to make the decisions that you'd make for your children in terms of finances, what they can use money for, and you designate that person as a trustee. And for however long you choose, the children are sort of protected from themselves, from creditors. Their money is managed in an orderly way.
And there's usually an age cutoff for that, right?
Correct. You can pick the age that you think is appropriate. A lot of times we'll sort of phase distributions out so your children get part at age 25, part at 30, part at 35. And during that whole period, they still have access to the money, but someone is helping them make those decisions for them.
What are some of the other documents that we should be taking out every so often and looking at?
One of the things that we all talk about having a will, and obviously you should have a will, but there are really some other important documents that not just high net worth people need to do, but everybody needs to do, and that is make sure that you have a financial power of attorney in place. Make sure that you have health care directives. In Ohio, that's a living will and a health care power of attorney in place. And both of those documents are important because your will takes care of things when after you've died. These documents take care of things if you're incapacitated, you've had a sudden, unexpected, incapacitating illness, you're in an accident, and you can designate someone that you trust to make financial decisions for you and to make healthcare decisions for you. Very important documents, and I think they tend to be overlooked.
Yeah, what happens if you don't have, I mean, my husband has a power of attorney for me and I have one for him. What happens if we didn't have that?
If you don't have these documents in place, what you're looking at is a relatively expensive, a very cumbersome court-supervised guardianship process that, quite frankly, as an attorney, I would counsel you to avoid.
You don't want the court making decisions.
You don't want the court making decisions.
For you and your family. Any other final tips that you want to offer, Jim?
While you're pulling out your records and cleaning out your closets, pull out your life insurance policies.
Oh, okay.
Pull out your retirement plan records, because most people's wealth lies in their retirement accounts, in their life insurance policies. That's what's going to pass to their children on death. Make sure that you check your beneficiary designations, because those designations are what govern the disposition of that wealth. It doesn't make any difference what your will says, it's what those designations say.
All right.
It's a very important part of your planning.
Jim Brun, thank you so much for your expertise today, and Happy New Year.
You're very welcome.
All right,
Thank you, Sheila.
We'll be back in just a moment.